Hello friends, today we are going to look at yet another interesting problem in Python. It's remove all adjacent duplicates in a string. To summarize the problem, it's like choose two adjacent and equal characters in the string and remove them and keep performing this step until there's no more such case, and then return the resultant string in the end. Let's understand it by an example. So we are given a particular string Mississippi and we want to perform remove all adjacent duplicates in this particular string. So let's see how it looks. So in the first iteration we see these two s here. So in the first, when we perform the first step, we look at a duplicate like which is ss. We will remove it and then we will again perform this step like the removal of the adjacent duplicates till there's no longer duplicate available. So in the second step we see this II and the II gets removed. In the third step again we see SS, so the SS gets removed, and then again we see PP gets removed, and in the end we see these two I's that are adjacent and duplicates, they get removed, and the resultant string is M. So if we are given the string Mississippi, the answer would be M. Let's understand the problem with few other examples. So the second example we have is ABBCA. When we perform the operation on this string, the resultant string is ABCA. Please note the B in the result. Even though we had three adjacent B's, only two of them are removed. The second example is 5A's. Again we perform the same operation and the result is single A. The two pairs of A's are removed. The third example is when a string has all the unique characters A, B, C, D, E. In that case, the result is same. There is nothing is removed from the string. And the fourth example is when the string contains only single character. In that case also there is no removal.
Approach one to solve this problem can be iterate through the string repeatedly and remove all the adjacent duplicates in each iteration. Stop iterating when you don't find any more adjacent duplicates. For example, if you are given with the string Mississippi, in the first iteration we remove the two pair of S and one pair of P. In the second iteration we remove two pair of I's. And this required two passes over the whole string. And in the second case you see ABCCBA. Here in the first iteration we remove one pair of C, in the second iteration we remove a pair of B, and in the third iteration we remove a pair of A, and the resultant string is empty string. And it required three passes over the string. So in the worst case, it will require n by 2 iterations over the string, where n is the length of the string, as is the case for ABCCBA. So the time complexity is of n square. So one n for the length of the string and the other n for the number of iterations over the string. And the space complexity is O of 1 if we don't consider the extra variable that stores the resultant string as the extra space. But if you consider the extra variable that we have initialized to store the resultant string, then it will be O of n. Let's try to optimize our algorithm further. At this point of time in any interview question, just think about all the different data structures you are aware of. So for example, you know about arrays, linked lists, stacks, queues, graphs, trees, hash maps, and trie, and etc. So there are a lot of data structures, and you can also use a combination of data structures. Like you can use a combination of hash map and linked list, or hash map and doubly linked list, etc. So let's think about the different data structures, especially in the terms of the access patterns they are good at. So for example, arrays are good to keep track of a sequence of fixed size and index-based access, while dictionary or hash maps are good to keep track of key value pair, and you can access only with the key. So accessing it with a key is O of 1. And similarly, there are different data structure like queue. If you want to use queues are good for first in first out, stacks are good for last in first out. So if you think about all the data structures and then look at the solution, by looking at the solution I mean the way you are solving the problem by hand. So while you were solving this particular problem, you were given with this particular string, you were just iterating over the string, and then you were looking at any adjacent neighbors that are duplicates, like any adjacent characters that are duplicate, and then you were merging them, like removing them, and then this used to bring other two characters closer, and then you would look again. If they are equal, you would be removing them again, and then it used to bring other adjacent characters together, and if they are also duplicate, you were merging them. So if you think of this particular access pattern here, while you are iterating, you need to keep track of the last character that was seen, and once that character is removed, so for example, if these two s are removed, this I should be able to look at this particular I. So I think by now you might have already guessed that it's a stack that we should be using here, because a stack provides the last in first out. So let's see how a stack helps us solve this problem in a better way.
We are given the input string Mississippi here. We have initialized a stack and the stack is empty. And then we have also initialized a temporary variable that stores the resultant string. So the algorithm works this way. We keep iterating over each character in the string, look at the top of the stack. If the top of the stack is equals to that particular character, we will remove the element from the stack, and otherwise we will push that particular character, the new character, to the stack. Let's see by this example. Initially we have character M, the top of the stack is empty, so the comparison fails. We will push M to stack, and then the top of a stack is M. In the next step we compare this with I and M are unequal, so we will push I again to the stack. In the next step we will see S and I are again different, so we will push S to the stack. In the next step we are looking at the another S, and this particular S and the top of the stack are equal, so we will pop from the stack instead of pushing. And this is how we remove the adjacent S here. In the next step the character is I, and then the top of the stack is also I, so we will pop again. In the next step we see S and the top of the stack is M. We are going to push S to the stack. Again we see the character S is equals to the top of the stack, so we are going to remove it, like pop it from the stack. The next step is I and the top of the stack is M, so we are going to push I here. And similarly we see P, and the P and I are unequal, we are going to push P. And we see the next P, this time P is equals to the top of the stack's P, so we are going to pop it from the stack. We see I again, and I is equals to the top of a stack, so we are going to pop it. Now since there is no other character left in the string to be parsed, we are going to form the resultant string. Let's see how it works. We are going to pop from the stack till the stack becomes empty and prepend it to the resultant string. So initially the resultant string was the empty string, there was no character in it, and then we keep popping from the stack and prepend it to the resultant string. Please notice this is the operation we are doing. We are prepending and not appending, so that the resultant string is formed in the same order as the initial string. Once this is performed, the result looks like this. Result includes only a single character, that is M. And this is how we have removed all the adjacent characters in this particular string. This is how the code looks like. We have a class stack that provides us certain methods to interact with it. Those are top, to see the top element of the stack. The second one is push, that is used to push a value to the top of the stack. The third one is pop, that basically removes the top element of the stack and returns it. The fourth is empty, that returns a boolean saying whether the stack is empty. This is how the main method looks like. Remove all possible adjacent. It takes in the input string S as an input, and then it initializes a stack and resultant temporary variable that stores the resultant string, and then it performs the operations that we discussed. It iterates over each character in the string, looks at the stack's top. If the stack's top is equals to that particular character, we will pop from the stack. Otherwise, we will push that particular character to the stack. And we will keep doing this for all the characters in the string. Once we have finished iterating over all the characters in the string, we are going to pop from the stack till the stack becomes empty. And while popping each character from the stack, we are going to prepend it to res, and in the end return res. Let's run the code.
Let's start by quickly implementing the class stack. We have implemented the class stack. Let's look at the different methods that it provides. In the init method, we have initialized the Python list. Python lists are of dynamic sizes. We don't need to give the size at the time of creation. Next is the push method. In the push method, we are appending the val, which is passed as an argument to the list. And by append, I mean the val is added to the end of the list. So if the list has 3 elements, val will be the 4th element after the append operation. Next is the pop. If we pop an element from the stack, that the top of the stack is returned and it's removed from the stack as well. And the same method is provided by the Python list as well. When you do pop on a Python list, if the list has an element, it would remove the last element from the list and return it. So we have basically used that directly here. And if the stack is empty, we will be returning none. Next is the top. In the top method, we are accessing the last element of the list and returning it. To access the last element of the list in Python, we can use the negative index like -1. So -1 can be used to access the last element of the Python list, and -2 can be used to access the last but one of the list, and so on. And if the stack is empty, we will be returning none. The last method we have is empty. In the empty method, we are just checking whether the length of the list is 0. If the length of the list is 0, it will return true, else false. Next, we are going to define the main method, remove all possible adjacent. That takes in the input string s and returns the result string. This is how the code for remove all possible adjacent looks like, and we have already gone through the code. Let's test this code now. Let's start with the string Mississippi. So it should return M. The other string was ABCDE, where all the characters were unique. It should return the same string. The other input should be single character A. It should return A back. The other one should be 5 A's. It should return the single A. And what if we have 4 A's? It should return the empty string. And then let's also check with this string ABCCBA. It should also return the empty string. Next is the empty string. If we give empty string as an input, it should return back the empty string. Yeah, it works. Time complexity of the code. We have initialized a stack and a temporary variable. Those are considered as constant operations, and in big O notation they are termed as O of 1. Next is the for loop. The for loop runs n number of times, where n is the size of the string, the input string. And whatever we do inside this for loop is again constant operation, so it is O of 1. But the for loop itself runs n times, so it is O of n. Next is the while loop. So we are looping through the whole stack. In the worst case, the stack can be completely filled with all the characters. In the case of all the unique characters, the stack will be completely filled. So the time complexity of this particular block of code will be O of n, given that the whatever is inside the while loop is the constant operation, so O of 1 for this particular statement, but it runs for n times, so it is O of n. And then we are basically returning the resultant string, so we can consider this as a O of 1 again. And in total, the time complexity is O of n. Space complexity of the code. We have initialized a stack, and the size of the stack can go up to n, which is the size of the input string, in case when all the characters are unique. For example, in the case of ABCDE, The stack will be completely filled with all the characters till we reach the end of the string. So the space complexity is O of n.
Thank you for watching this. Please share your feedback in the comments box below.